Hey guys, it's Dr. TJJ one day here coming at you at about almost 6 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning. I think this is June 30th. And I just wanted to share kind of a long, drawn out story that's with the testimony embedded, I guess. But I'm up early in my closet so I don't wake my husband up. But I just saw my mom off, who lives 8 hours away from me, and it always makes me sad when she leaves. I'm still a big baby. But she was here she was in Houston for 3 weeks, which is about 3.5 hours away from me, so that my son could attend a 3-week engineering camp sponsored by NSBE. So the long story behind this is I got an email where this email, how I ended up being the recipient of this email, I don't know, but it just said my son has been accepted to the Seek camp sponsored by NSBE. It's an engineering camp for young people, and the camp is in Houston. That's about a 3.5 hour drive, like I said, away from me. So I'm like, how did we get this email? And that's great. He was accepted to this camp for free, but it no longer becomes free when it's in 3.5 hours away. So I told my mom about it, and she's, super excited. He's got to go. We got to figure out a way. So I'm thinking of all kind of ways for my son to stay in Houston for 3 weeks, and nothing really panned out. And my mom said, hey, I'll stay in 3 weeks for him to be able to be a part of NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers. And so I guess long story short, I prayed about it and I left it at the altar. But always when I'm praying, I'm always also listening for God to speak on what's on my heart and what I've left at the altar. And so I went to a women's event, and this lady just started telling me about her children. She was black, her children, and there weren't a lot of black women at this event, at this women's event. But she just started talking to me about her children. I started sharing about my children, and she said, her children are doing so well, and they went through the National Society of Black Engineers to be offered all these different, or be available to partake in all these different opportunities, to where they're both engineers now. And I was like, Lord, are you speaking to me? But I still don't know how this is going to happen. Houston, 3 hours away for 3 weeks. And so I was on my way home from that event, and God just put on my heart, reach out, go research, reach out and see if there's a local chapter. And so I'm just, Googling and searching, and I come across a couple of different emails, and I just write them, hey, my son has an opportunity. Do you all offer any grants or scholarships? I didn't know what to expect, but they emailed back. That's great. Yes, we would love to help. What do you need? Just, what do you need? And God is so faithful. And so I'm like, wow, we might be able to make this happen, but gosh, it's a lot for my mom to come here for 3 weeks. And then what ended up happening was, after I did my research on the Airbnbs, obviously as you get closer to the time before we receive the scholarship money or the grant money, the Airbnbs went up, and I didn't want to ask for more money. So I just again said, okay, Lord, it's in your hands, you'll work it out. And my mom ended up just reaching out to a friend of hers that she grew up with, like literally childhood friend. And that childhood friend just moved about 20 minutes well, 20 minutes without traffic in Houston, but about 20 minutes from the school that hosted the camp. And so my mom stayed with her for 3 weeks, of course, left her a love offering. So all the scholarship money was, spent towards the camp, towards his being able to go to the camp. But I just can't say enough how God is good. So my mom just left this morning. She brought my son home on Friday and stayed with us and hung out with us. And I just love hanging with my mom. We talk every day. And so it always makes me cry when she has to leave. But I just wanted to share with you God's goodness, his faithfulness, his provision. And I went to lay down in bed, and it was just on my heart. God said, just record and share. Nothing's too big for God. Nothing's too small for God. You oftentimes think, this is such a ridiculous prayer. How could he even care about my little old issue or my little old request? But God hears your prayers, and he's just faithful. So never think what you have for God is too small or too big. So I just wanted to leave you all with that. Thanks for listening, and may God bless you. Continue to stay faithful, and Dr. TJJ out.